Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maximo and I'm here checking out Conga Master Go. This one also came out right under my nose, did not see it until a few days after it was out. I just picked it up and I played about 45 minutes of it and I couldn't care less about it. Which doesn't seem to be a very good trend I've been falling into lately. Nevertheless, let's just pick up this Vita and try and have a go of it, shall we? Got a few things here. The only thing we really need to worry about at the moment is settings, and holy crap, the input lag on my display is real bad. Gonna have to look at the Vita for this one. But yes, we've got music, sound effects, and language. Not too much out of the ordinary there. We do also have a how to play section, but for whatever reason, it's incredibly laggy. Like, you have to wait a full second or two before you can see the next page of it. And the game's general, what's the word I'm looking for? The game's general gameplay is very easy. There's nothing you really need to worry about. You can pick it up pretty much as you go. So, we're just going to go hop into the story mode, but I'm going to warn you right now that my story progression is fucked, and I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's a bug with the game. Basically, it's supposed to continue me with 5 conga dances, but because I quit out on this stage to try the other modes, it, for some reason, will only let me back in the stage with my main dancer, which actually makes starting off this level significantly harder. I don't know why they did this, but they did it anyway, so we're just going to go straight in.
What could possibly go wrong?
And here we go. So yes, this is Conga Master Go. I'm really not sure how I would describe it. Like, it's close to Snake, but not exactly. Because you can go through your own string of people in order to actually make this happen, but it is very similar to Snake on the concept of it, so you can rotate to the left and right freely using the shoulder buttons, and those are the only controls you need to worry about. You do also have the ability to walk slightly faster by pressing both shoulder buttons at once, but obviously this restricts your ability to turn. In order to get more people onto your conga line, you have to stick close to them. And it will slowly fill up this meter. And once the meter is full, they will join the conga. They will join in the fun. You can see when you get close to a particular person that they are a certain type of person. And you need to fill all 4 meters in the top left corner there before the game will let you out the exit door. This can be kind of an annoying situation for multiple reasons. The main reason is that every time you enter a level, I almost call them pedestrians. I guess they're club goers. You go to a different club every single time, but yeah, I guess they are technically club goers. But every single time you enter, the people in it, including their attributes, are randomly generated. So there's no guaranteed way to get around a area. There's no guaranteed way. There's no like built-in lines or anything that the developers have created that will. There's no built-in line or anything that'll let you go for like the highest score possible on the stage. No, it's all random all the time. And it feels woefully under-designed because of this, because I've had a couple of occasions where I had basically nothing go well for me. I've had like 1 meter max out and the other 2 just fall over and never, well, 2 of the others I should say, fall over and never actually fill up. And it gets really frustrating to deal with really quickly. This isn't helped by the fact that you are actually really slow, like even under regular circumstances, you are really, really tough to deal with. In terms of just your general turning radius and your overall control of the game. It gets really difficult to control yourself, especially with the Conga line this long. God, my momentum's hit the bloody floor already. Even with 2 pickups. There's nothing I can do about it, honestly. You have to get combos of people, and by combos what they mean is you have to get combos by staying as close to them as possible and then filling their meters up really close to each other. This isn't helped out by the fact that you can see that there's a bunch of people here that will join the Conga line, but you have to keep badgering them for some reason. This is incredibly frustrating because you think to yourself, I'm more than close enough to get this guy wanting to join the Conga line, but for whatever reason, he just doesn't decide to join you until you've already gone back and forth across him a couple of times, which does nothing but waste time. And this, of course, can happen randomly because the game's a dick. You can also run into people and that will reset their Conga meter, their Conga build-up. So it's a game where you have a lot of room to make mistakes and not much room to really make up for them. And it gets really frustrating really fast. Like, look at this. I'm going to need to go and hunt down a bunch of purple top hats, whatever the hell that means. I have to avoid this guy, by the way. Oh, great. Let's just try and get this pick up here before I completely lose my shit. There we go. At least I got some of my momentum back. We don't want pigs because they can actually, they actually ruin our momentum if we let them join the line. Which is actually really annoying, mainly because, again, it's all randomly generated, so if there are like 3 pigs in the way of an area that's supposed to have a lot of people for you to pick up, you're just gonna get screwed by it. Like, I don't know what I was supposed to do there, because as soon as your line gets this long, it's almost impossible to avoid a pig. If you run into a pig, like if you even come close to one, that's it. The pig is doomed to join you. Your momentum will eventually take a deficit, and there's nothing you can do. What's even worse is that the bloody pig was in an area that was locked off by a certain count of people. There are areas that you can only get into once you've got a certain amount of people on the Conga line. So you would think that would be like the area that would be full of dudes for you to go and just pick up, right? For the line. But no, in this case, the game just went, oh no, screw you, you don't get it, right? Neither of these two are actually going to help me towards my goal, so I should move up here, where I get 4 top hat dudes that I do not need. God almighty, the game is just trying to kill me at this point. Thankfully, I actually managed to get through, but this is like my 5th try at this level. So now that I've got all my meters full, I can head for the exit, but you can still stick around and try and get extra people, but frankly, there's no point. All it does is give you extra points, and as far as I can tell, there's not even high scoreboards. So there doesn't seem to be a point. There's also these weird bonus rounds where your Conga line is stripped away, but you get bonus points for every time you manage to, like, avoid pigs. Like, oh, not bonus points, bonus spins. Every time you manage to avoid a pig. And it's gone and reset my score, because of course it has. But yeah, scores mean nothing in this game, so don't worry about them, just ignore them. Even in survival mode, the scores don't mean anything. In survival mode, the score is how many people you can get on your Conga before your time runs out. So we can spin the bonus wheel, and that'll give us everything from new characters to lead up the Conga to bonuses like this. Like, in the next level, I'm going to get 10% extra momentum. This is supposed to be the story mode, but there's no story. It's just, you are the Conga Master, you invade a bunch of clubs, and you do your best to fill your line up again before the vengeful aliens decide to come along and strip it away from you once more. Why? I don't fucking know. It's a little bit weird. If the game was better, I might let it get away with it, but in this case, just no. Now let's get this power up. Arriba! That's a bouncer there. I want to avoid him. Thankfully, the rest of the Conga line doesn't get interrupted by things like bouncers or even like walking through yourself. It's mainly just... It's mainly just you. You're the only weak point in the chain. Which is alright. As I said, there are a bunch of different characters. I did try a few, but it doesn't seem like it gets that much better. It seems like that the game is always going to be relatively slow and clunky. And that just makes the game not as fun as it could be. I mean, sure, you can accelerate if you like, but that doesn't change the fact that you need to stick around these people for as long as humanly possible in order to get them to join the Conga line. So, there's really not that much you can do. You basically just have to wander around in circles and hope that they'll eventually decide to join you, even after, like, 5 minutes of running around them. Because, again, for some reason, some of the people who will be willing to join the Conga just delay in saying that they'll happily join the Conga by making you wait for the meter to show up. And it's just bizarre. Thankfully, running into objects like this doesn't actually hurt your progress that much. If anything, it might help the situation or prevent you from running into dudes as easily. The game looks okay. Like, I'll give it credit, they've got something they're going for here. And they do reasonably well with it, but I'll admit that I'm not the biggest fan of it because it's chunky pixels, relatively undetailed characters, and bog standard environments for a 2D pixelized game. My main problem with it is, and I'm sure everyone is able to guess this, the performance! Because holy shit, this game slows to a crawl. As soon as you have like 30 or more people in the Conga, you will just lose your shit. It becomes so laggy. Like, unbelievably so. It's almost funny just how bad it gets. Let's see what's up here. We got a pig. We got a random dude there. Someone's spinning around on a giant bowling pin. That's actually kind of neat. I slipped on the janitor's trail there. Yeah, and another waiter. Gonna lose a bunch of my momentum because of that pig, though. So I got 1 meter filled up already, and the other 3 are just barely at half. Like, some of them not even that. Feels like I'm gonna need insanely good luck to get everything filled up the way it needs to be. Except I'm not gonna get that because my momentum's nearly gone. Yep. On the cusp of getting all those guys filled up, it dies on me. So story mode takes you through 9 stages. That was stages 6 and 7. So I'm pretty close to the end of the game there, more or less. And yeah, it ain't doing much for me, sunshine, I gotta tell ya. We do also have a multiplayer mode, or should I say a multiplayer suite. Seriously, 7 multiplayer modes, all of which are local multiplayer compatible. You hold one side and the other player holds the other side. I'm not going to show them off because I think it'd be against the point, but it's kind of neat that they include all of that stuff. Also, what's up with this? Why are there blank slots here, and why are they the ones that are meant to take me back instead of the actual back door? I don't bloody know, but it's kind of neat that that's there, but again, it's just too slow and unwieldy to be really fun with 2 people, let alone 1. And this is what I mean when I say there's extra characters. You unlock them via the bonus spins, and you can see things like their rate of rotation, how far away they can affect people, how quickly they fill them up, and just their general speed. Honestly, having more general speed in this game seems like a detriment, because again, you need to stay close to the people that you want to pick up for the Conga, so going slowly past them is usually better. Whatever, we're just going to pick a stage and roll with it.
What could possibly go wrong?
So survival mode doesn't have that bullshit with the 4 meters. It's literally just pick up anyone you can, and you've got until your momentum runs out. That's pretty much the long and the short of it. And as I said before, there doesn't seem to be anything in the way of like high scores. So, I mean, it does keep your high score on any particular stage, but that's about it. The soundtrack is okay, but the tracks are short, looping, and repetitive, which is a really bad sign when you put all 3 of them together. Short and looping, maybe not. Repetitive and looping, maybe not the worst thing either, but short, looping, and repetitive, best way to piss someone off. And that just goes against the game's flow, honestly. Nothing but endless noises outside, starting to piss me off. So, really, I can't recommend it, but it's mainly just because of the slow-paced gameplay with the weird things, like the fact that continuing doesn't work properly if you decide to quit from a run through the story mode. The fact that the game feels slow and chunky even when you've got someone who's actually really good at what they do. The fact that just some weird shit happens, like dudes won't join the Conga for a while just randomly. The fact that the positions are random in the first place, so there's no like lines to learn or any interesting techniques to master. It's just dropping in and hoping for the best pretty much all the time. That just seems to be the long and the short of the game, and because of all that, there's basically no replay value. With no fun tricks to learn, no real tactics to master, and just a general lack of engaging gameplay, there's just nothing here. Definitely not worth the price of $8.99 they charge for it normally. Way too high. Especially for something that you can finish in an hour. At least the trophy list isn't ridiculous, but the trophy list also seems to be based on luck, but in a different way. Because when you play on the, when you're playing the story mode and you get the bonus spins to unlock the characters on the wheel are going to be random, and the chances of you... Oh, the fucking lag, man, Jesus. The characters on the wheel are random, so in order to unlock all the characters and get the platinum trophy, you're basically going to be grinding the story mode multiple times. At least I don't see any other way to do it. Also, the collision mask on your character seems to be just a bit too wide, and this can really be annoying when you're trying to weave through like really tight spaces. There are a couple of other things around the place. Like there's some cats hidden as secrets in the world, for example, that you can bring along, like that one over there on the toilet sink, and it'll give you a... I believe it actually resets your momentum back to maximum once you do. But I mean, other than that, you've seen everything the game has to offer you. A couple of repetitive obstacles, some slightly different level layouts that really aren't helped by the game's complete randomness. And just generally not being that enjoyable. A bit of a slog more than anything else. Like, look, I guarantee you these three, at least one of these three will want to join us eventually. See? I can't tell what the deal is. Do I have to be, like, right in front of some people to convince them to join? I'm really not sure what the deal is, but either way, it doesn't seem to be working in my favor. Also, the sound they use for adding a pig to your Conga, I swear I've heard the soundbite somewhere before, and I'm trying to remember where. I remember it being like I think it might have been Crash Bash, actually. Of all the fucking games to have a sound effect from, again, like Crash Bash might have taken it from something else entirely, but you know, of all the bloody games to think of when you're playing a game like this, actually, it's almost kind of appropriate, but still, there is this sound effect in Crash Bash. I think it was in the Crash Ball minigame, where if you let a ball into your goal, you'll hear like a boo sound. And it's the same thing here. Also, yeah, this shit happens from time to time. I don't know what the hell that is in the top left corner of the screen there, but it is there. As far as I can tell, there's no trophies or anything tied to endless mode. There is one trophy that's like get to 100 long Conga, but you know, you might be able to do that in story mode. I couldn't say. Although this probably would be the best spot for it now that I think about it. So that was a look at Conga Master Go. It looks and sounds okay, but the performance is terrible and the overall gameplay is just not that great. It's slow, it's clunky, and it's got a bunch of problems. Some of which I don't know are intentional, but some are definitely intentional, like the game's slow turning speed. And it doesn't appeal. I was done with it in about 20 minutes, and I played it for about twice as long as that before I stopped it to play this video, so yeah, there you go. That's pretty much all I've got for you. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.